In this next lesson, we learned our first two songs, Down in the Valley and Silent Night. Now, both of these songs were in 3/4 time, which means 3 beats to the measure. So we count 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And to go along with 3/4 time, we learned our first strum, which was basically bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. So a bass is when we take one of the strings in the chord and we hit that string individually. So basically what you have is we start with our C major chord, 2, 4, 5, frets 1, 2, and 3, and we will start by hitting with our pick the 5th string as a bass by itself. Then continue downward and hit the rest of the strings together twice, right? So that's bass, strum, strum. And to look at it closer, we're hitting this string, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's the basic strum for our first song, Down in the Valley. So what we're going to do is I will count 3 counts. Follow along on your chord chart. We have a 2-measure introduction to the song, followed by the verse, which is where the singing, if you were to sing the song, would actually begin. Okay? So get your C chord down, your C major chords, 2, 4, 5, and I will count 3 counts, and we will begin. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum. Bass, strum, strum. Continue. Strum, strum. Bass, strum, strum. Bass, strum, strum. Bass, strum, strum. So we reached the end of the measures of C. Now we switch to G7th, which is 1, 5, 6. Frets 1, 2, and 3. Now, the only difference for G7th is we hit the 6th string bass and then strum twice. Okay? So now let's take it from those measures of G7th, and I'll count 3 counts and we'll begin again. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, 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 bass, strum, strum. Then we go back to C, 2, 4, 5, frets 1, 2, and 3. 5th string bass, 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. Then we go back to G7th, 1, 5, 6, frets 1, 2, and 3, and use the 6th string bass and start again. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, 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 bass, strum, strum. Now we have one last measure of C major, back to 2, 4, 5, frets 1, 2, and 3. And again, we go back to the 5th string bass, okay? And we do one more measure of C major. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, strum. But to end it, we will add an extra strum at the end, okay? So that last measure of C major will be bass, strum, strum, strum. All right? Now, in this final part, I will play the whole song from beginning to end without stopping between the chord changes. This is, of course, your ultimate goal. So here we go. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum. G7. C. G7. Back to C. Bass, strum, strum, strum. So that's Down the Valley. Now the other song that we learned was Silent Night. And in Silent Night, we also were in 3/4 time. So we used the same strum, bass, strum, strum, just different chords. So our first chord in Silent Night was A major, 4, 3, 2, all in fret 2. And the bass for the A major was on the 5th string. So we will play the 5th string bass followed by 2 strums. So I will count and follow along on your chord chart and we'll play Silent Night. So it's 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. Now E7th, which was 3, 5, 4, and 2, frets 1, 2, and 3, 6-string bass for E7, 2 measures. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. Now we go back to A major, 4, 3, 2, all in fret 2. And here we have 1 measure of A followed by A7th, which requires us putting our 4th finger down on the 1st string 3rd fret. So it's 4, 3, 2, 1. So what we're going to try and do, since we don't have to move these 3 fingers, just add this one, we're going to try and do that without stopping. So here we go. 5th string bass for both A and A7. So 1, 2, 3, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum on the A7th. Let's try that again. A, 1, 2, 3. A7. Then switch to D major, which is 3, 1, 2, frets 2 and 3. And this gets the 4th string bass. And there's 2 measures there. So 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. Then back to A major, 4, 3, 2, 5th string bass, all in fret 2. 5th string bass, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. Then back to D major, 3, 1, 2, frets 2 and 3, 4th string bass. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. Then we go back to A major again, 4, 3, 2, all in fret 2, 5th string bass. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, we go to E7th, 3, 5, 4, and 2, frets 2 and 3, 6-string bass for 2 measures. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. Then back to A major again, 4, 3, 2, all in fret 2. 5th string bass. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum, bass, strum, strum. Then back to E7th, 3, 5, 4, and 2, frets 1, 2, and 3. 6-string bass. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum. Now we go back to A again, 4, 3, 2, all in fret 2. And we're ending it just like we did down in the valley with a bass, strum, strum, strum. So let's try that. 5th string bass for the A. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, strum. Okay, so now I'll play Silent Night without stopping between the chord changes. So your ultimate goal, of course, is to do that. So let's start at the beginning, 3, 4 times. So I count 1, 2, 3, 5th string bass on the A. So here we go. Follow along on your chord chart. 1, 2, 3. Bass, strum, strum, 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 E7, 6-string bass. A7th, D, at the end. So there are your first 2 songs, Down in the Valley and Silent Night, both in 3/4 time, both use the same strum, bass, strum, strum, which will work in any song that's in 3/4 time.